Wow, one entire month, the first real official month working on my retirement plan. So how did it go? I got my notes and I got my numbers, so let's check it out. I thought I'd do something a little bit different tonight. I'm sitting out here on my deck. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. There you go. Quick view of the deck in the backyard. Sitting out here with some cranberry wine, which is absolutely amazing. I think you're allowed to drink wine on YouTube. I did. Anyway, before we get started on this, as you know, I am not a financial advisor. Anything that you get from this video is strictly educational and it is for entertainment purposes only. This is just what this boring old guy is doing to fund his retirement. My plans, the different things I am doing, everybody is different for your financial well-being. I recommend that you talk to a financial advisor to do the right thing, because money in the stock market can and will lose money over time. Anyway, so that's out of the way. Before we get into a lot of this, I've got 2 pages of notes. I'm going to try to go through it fairly, and second page isn't that long, but go through it fairly decent pace. So first off, I want to tell you that you guys have made a huge impact on what I'm doing here on YouTube. In September alone went from 667 subscribers to 919. Absolutely incredible. Thank you so much. It's because of you that I keep wanting to do these videos, and hopefully you're getting something out of it. Getting lots of great comments, pluses and negatives, but you know what? That's what it's all about. I'm putting myself out there for you to do that. So 252 new subscribers just in the month of September. Thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Greatly appreciate it. Of course, you can always follow me on Blossom as well. That is where my portfolio is. You can see the percentages of how my portfolio is performing. And of course, you can always buy me a beer or wine or coffee or whatever you want to do. So thank you all so much. I can't tell you how much I really appreciate it. So if you haven't watched any of the previous videos, you should really go back to this video here, which is the Everything Changes video. So in that video really kicks off this entire series as far as what I am doing and why I'm doing this. We are saving up for retirement. We want to buy land, we want to buy a house, and we want to open a micro winery because we're good at making wine and we want to share that with everybody. So that is the whole plan. That is the whole why I am doing this, is why I'm here on YouTube sharing this with you, maybe to inspire somebody. I can't motivate you, but I can definitely hopefully inspire you to do some stuff. So go back and check out the This All Changes video. So July and August, I really started to dabble in this weekly ETF thing. I had been doing a lot of just regular trading for quite a while, but stumbled upon the whole weekly ETFs and really got into it. That's when I really started. Then when I started getting into it, I thought, you know what, let's really kind of snowball this, really start to dive into this. And end of August is really where I went all in. Was on Blossom, and I had a CrowdStrike position that was losing money. I was just going to hold on to it until it turned, and then I would cash out, get a little bit of profit on it. But having conversation with some people on Blossom, they're like, look, you're in a losing position. That money is just sitting there, and it's not making any money. It's not doing anything for you. And so that's when I really started to think about, why am I doing this? I had dead money sitting all over the place. Dead money is just money sitting in a savings account that's basically losing money. It's not doing anything. You need your money to work for you. So August, pretty much I went all in. About halfway towards the end of the month, went all in and decided I was going to use Robinhood to help fund it through my trading and divide everything up. September was the first full month. Yeah, I keep looking at my notes. Sorry, kids, but I need to start. I need to do that. So September was the first full month that we actually have results. So we can really look at numbers to really see how my plan is performed. A couple things happened, and we'll get to it, that have kind of made things go awry, but that's okay. It's a plan. You stick to it. You've got to be flexible. Find your why, get a plan, and stick to it, but be flexible. So we're getting a lot of data. Some of the big changes, before we really get into the details of this, some of the big changes that I made were really shifting a lot of what I was doing in E-Trade over to Robinhood for a couple of reasons. And yes, there is another video, so go check out that other video. You didn't realize there was going to be homework in this, did you? Yeah, lots of homework. So there's other videos. Go back and check the other videos. You don't always need to look at the update videos, but the everything changes video is fantastic. The making changes video is fantastic. The Bitcoin one is good, and so is the Ulti deck one that came out last week. Those are all really good to kind of give you a little insight on some other things. So shifting everything from E-Trade over to Robinhood, just a whole lot easier. Having everything together, and it just, the trading is, the whole platform is just so much easier, and I can do a lot more than I want to do. Buying in increments, you don't have to buy a whole share. I can buy Bitcoin, I can buy Ethereum, I can do all kinds of other things. So shifting everything over to Robinhood, and also starting to accumulate that Bitcoin and start to accumulate the gold and Bitcoin regular ETFs, kind of to harbor some of that money that we're collecting over time, so that way it just doesn't disappear. So check out those other videos. They're very good. So let's talk a little bit about the specific numbers. So first off, let's talk about trading. I have a trading account, and I use that account to make additional money and take that money and separate it into different things. So for the month of September, I made 6 trades. Only 6 trades, so really not a whole lot. A total of $1,092 in earnings on that, so not too bad. So it was $1,000 I was able to add to my retirement without taking money out of my paycheck, which is fantastic. So half of that money is going back into specifically to trade, so that way my trading amount that I have gets larger. It's, as of right now, it's only, do I have it on here? I don't even think I have it on here. Yeah, trading. So it's $8,500 right now. So it's not a whole lot. But I got $1,000 out of $8,000. Not too bad. You do the math. I don't know the percentage on that. No, I don't have the percentage on here. So, but not too bad. So I take half of that and I put it back to trading to grow that trading account. A quarter of it I stick in grab some Bitcoin, and then the final quarter I stick in my Roth and I buy the other ETFs. All right, so that's where that goes as far as ETFs. So in my Roth account, I have 7 income ETFs. These are all weekly ETFs. I have the Roundhill Coin, Roundhill Robinhood. I have the Roundhill Palantir, which are all fantastic. So I've got those in there. I also have YieldMax's NVIDIA, Ulti, YMAX, and then also and then Granite Shares Ethereum, YETH. So those are the 7 income ones, weekly incomes that I have in there. The only thing I'm doing with those is I'm dripping them. I'm just letting them drip, let them accumulate. And then I also have my BTGD. It's an ETF that is specifically only for Bitcoin and for gold, and that doesn't pay out a distribution, doesn't pay anything. That is more of an accumulation to protect your wealth. The other thing that I can't believe I did not put on here is I still have in my E-Trade account, I have shares of the Roundhill Robinhood, the coin, and then also the ETH. Just leaving those in there, but what I'm doing is every time I get distribution on those, I am sending them over to Robinhood, but I'm also, for coin and for ETH, I'm using part of that to get Bitcoin from Coinbase. So I'm growing my Bitcoin as well on that. And then also I do have the Roundhill Coin. Roundhill Coin actually is not my Roth. That is actually in my regular brokerage account in Robinhood, because of the fact that I'm buying Bitcoin with that as well. So income in August. So August was 5 weeks. All right, so we had an extra week in August. In those 5 weeks in August, we made $1,827.56. September, though, was only 4 weeks, and we actually got $1,852 in September in 4 weeks versus 5. All in all, it's like $24.50 higher, but I had that extra week in August. So I actually, when you break it down, it's about $463 a week. So I actually got $463 extra in August, but I did it in September without that extra week. So it is growing. Our income is growing. When you look at the ultimate goal for the year and what we want to do weekly, I want $100,000 annual just off my distributions and everything else. To do that, I have to be hitting about $1,923 a week when you do the math. So I'm about $1,460 a week away. So we are about, what is that, about a quarter? Yeah, we're almost a quarter. Yeah, we're almost a quarter of the way to that now. So not too good. Not too bad. Not too bad. So this is ETFs. So let's talk about expenses. We'll talk about expenses before we get to income. So expenses, darn mosquitoes. Expenses. So a couple things. If you're watching the updates, I actually take some of my distributions in my Citibank and I send that to pay my credit card off. So we paid $305 on the credit card in September. I also had a position in Coney, that is the YieldMax coin monthly or every 4 week ETF. I'd let that go. We are building the deck. We're rebuilding the deck again. Video, go check out the video. But I had to. I had to set some money aside for that. The guy's actually coming tomorrow. I'm signing the contract, get going on that. So I had to pay for half of it up front, then the other half when it's done. So that was $3,300 that I took out of that trading account to help pay for the deck. And then, it's all the timeline and the need for that. So, bottom line numbers. So first off, in August, we didn't have any Bitcoin at all. Absolutely none. So I've got some Bitcoin somewhere else, but I can't get to it. So I ignore it. So Bitcoin started off with zero. I have $268 as of yesterday. All right, so not bad. My Roth IRA is now $8,600. It is up $650 from August. Not too bad. My trading account is actually, it's $85.73 like I said earlier. It's actually up $431 because I took half of what I earned and put back into that. My Citibank was, let's see if I can do some math in my head. It was about $18,000. It's down to $15,807 right now, and that's because I had to take money out because of the deck. The grand total for the end of September is $45,246. Yep, $45,246. Up, even though I took all that extra money out. I basically took $2,300 out of my account and put it into savings to help pay for the deck. So my account is actually up $145 with trading and with the income ETFs. Hold on, stop everything. I just realized I was going back and watching the review, make sure I've got everything on the video. I forgot something. Big, and I told you I was buying money and I was buying Bitcoin in Coinbase. That wasn't in my numbers. That was not in my numbers. So that's an extra, and I went by today's numbers. It's not really going to make that much of a difference. But I actually have $225 additional in Bitcoin. So I actually have a total of $493, not $268 in Bitcoin, which makes my grand total $45,739 in all my accounts. So I'm this close to $50,000, which makes our increase for the month actually not 145, it's actually 638. Can't believe that I forgot that. Oh, now I got to go back and change my other spreadsheet. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Sorry about the surprise ending. I can't believe that I totally missed that, and I really needed to get that out there. Hope you all enjoyed the monthly. I would love to hear how your September went. Mine, as you can tell, is fantastic. You guys are awesome. I want as many comments as I can get. Just let me know what you're doing, and have yourself an absolutely wonderful evening. My wine's almost gone because I was drinking it watching the review. No. Have a great evening. See you guys Saturday morning.